which would mean to me that I myself and everybody in this room, you may not be just only a body, that when you die, your body dies and that's all. You may really be a spirit, and you may live on after your death. And to me, that would be a major discovery. So to me, it is actually a big question. Do ghosts really exist? If ghosts exist, there may be a whole other universe. And the life we're living right now may not really be so important. It may be very small compared to what else is going on. So that's why I think it really is a very interesting question. And so I'll tell you a couple of things that happened to me. They're true. Well, let me tell them to you. When I was a little kid growing up, my family, we moved into a house. We moved into a new house, and there was 6 kids, and among my brothers and sisters, occasionally we would notice a very strange sound in the house. Very strange sound. At various times there would be a knocking sound in the house, in the upstairs. It was very mysterious, because when you look around, you find that there was nobody who was knocking. Nobody who was knocking. For a while we thought maybe a squirrel or a mouse. But we talked about it, we decided we've never seen a squirrel making a noise like that. And it would always happen at unexpected times, usually at night. We'd just be, a few of us would be upstairs, and then for some reason there was a quick, loud knocking noise. And we called him the Mad Knocker. We thought there was a ghost in the house. One night, in fact, I was with my younger sister playing around in one room upstairs, and we heard coming from the wall. I was very surprised. I was shocked. And we went to find out who else was upstairs. I found my other sister was in the other bedroom. She was lying down on the bed, and we asked her, did she hear the Mad Knocker? And she got very angry at us. She said, "You're playing a game. You're playing a game." I insisted we didn't do that. We did not do that. But she thought we did it. We were playing a trick on her. And so among our family, we had, for many years, we were wondering who the Mad Knocker was, what this Mad Knocker was doing. Until about, I think it may have been 20 years later, 10 or 15 years later, I grew up. I almost forgot about the Mad Knocker until one night I was home alone upstairs, and I went in my bedroom and I sat down, and all of a sudden, again I was shocked because I knew nobody else was there.
How old were you?
Well, the first part of it, I was probably 10 or 12. But the next part, I think I was more like 25.
What?
I'd grown up.
15 years.
Yeah, 15 years. That's 15 years wondering, who is the Mad Knocker? What's going on? What is this Mad Knocker? But among our brothers and sisters, everybody denied being the Mad Knocker. We couldn't figure out who the Mad Knocker was, but I finally figured out. Who the Mad Knocker was.
Who?
Yeah, I went home one night, went to my bedroom, sat down on the bed, and I knew nobody was there. But then I looked over, the bed I was in, it had a large wooden frame. With four corners, four stands, and then I figured it out. I figured it out very easily. The solution was very simple. When you flop down in the bedpost vibrates. And it makes a loud, it makes a loud noise, just like that. Yeah. So there was no ghost after all. Yeah, anybody who popped down on the bed was the ghost.
Is this a ghost story?
You
tricked us.
True.
But that is a ghost story.
Well,
May I ask you?
okay, the bed on bed. Wait, 2 questions.
At that time, it was a time when somebody bought a house, and people are saying the house is somebody gave away.
haunted.
Nobody you haunted. Nobody you will try to sell the house and go away. But at that time, why you guys so dare? You dare to stay there, not go anywhere. You in a house.
You have to restate the question.
Oh,
It's in the ghost house.
Oh, she has a very good question. Very good question. She's asking why would we move into a house where there was a ghost in it? Because we know if in Taiwan, if people have a house where somebody has died, probably nobody will move in there at any price. Probably. However,
No, I should say if you die peacefully, anywhere.
oh, yeah, but
But if something like somebody were murdered or somebody killed himself, they're not secret. That kind of people, their spirits will always stay in that place.
yeah. If somebody was murdered in the house, probably nobody would buy it, nobody would move in. So that's the question in Taiwan. However, usually in America, I don't think the same thing quite applies. Another ghost! And actually in America, I don't think it's such a big deal in America. People will have stories about haunted houses, but it won't necessarily stop people. In America, most people don't take ghost stories seriously. So they probably would not believe that the house is haunted. But actually, to answer the question, when we moved into the house, as far as I know, there were no stories of ghosts. But I was very young. I don't remember it. It was only after we moved in that my brothers and sisters, we heard this mad knocker. So when we moved in, we didn't know about the mad knocker. Did you have a question?
Hey.
How can that person out of bed realize that the moment he knocked down of bed and he makes the sound, or she makes the sound? How can he or she didn't recognize that?
You mean when I did it finally and I figured it out?
Yeah.
When I figured it out finally, actually the moment that happened, I didn't realize it. I just went home. I plopped down in the bed. I just plopped down on the bed and sat down kind of hard, and then I heard it. And I said, I'd almost forgotten about the mad knocker. I'd almost forgotten, but then I realized, there's nobody here. There's nobody in the whole house. And I heard this rapid knocking sound, and that's when I looked around and said, the mad knocker. And I thought, I don't believe in ghosts. I don't really believe in ghosts. I looked around, what could that be? And then I finally noticed there were four wooden rails on the bed. That's when I realized, I thought, maybe it's the bed rails. And then I sat down a few times hard on the bed, and and then the same thing happened again. So I think what had happened with my sister was, when I was very young, I think what probably really happened was, some of my brothers and sisters, they'd sit down on the bed, they'd plop down very heavily, they'd hear the knocking sounds, but they didn't realize it was the bed rail, or the bedpost. They didn't realize it was the bedpost, and they were shocked and surprised.
But Tim, right, I think, because what Lisa's saying, I think the problem or the issue is, in Taiwan, or maybe in all Asia, most people here are more superstitious first, and then logical second. And so I think in Taiwan,